welcome to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It is Game 2 of the Tuscaloosa Regional. The SWAC champions, Alabama State, take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. Earlier today, the University of South Carolina Upstate upsetting Oklahoma State, taking advantage of Cowboy miscues to win 8-5 to advance to the 1-0 game. Hello, everybody. Derek Jones and Jared Mitchell with you this evening. And Jared, this is an Alabama team that is here as a host. They have been streaky, but with that comes the ability to string together wins.
Yeah, it's definitely a streaky ball club, but a streaky ball club is a dangerous ball club at this time of the year. Two separate S7-win streaks in the SEC, also 8-2 in their last 10. They are surging, they're playing better, and this is the right time of the year to start doing that.
One of the big reasons why Tyler Fay on the mound.
Tyler Fay is their absolute workhorse ace. He is their game one starter all year long this year. Tyler Fay also no-hit Florida on March 20th, 120 pitches, 13 strikeouts. He's been incredible for them this year, and he's going to need to do every bit of that today. And I would imagine 4 2/3 innings on his last time out in the SEC tournament, only 76 pitches. Look for him to go a long ways in this one, especially because the win here can set them up nicely through the rest of the tournament. He's going to look to be able to put them in that position.
These teams, no stranger to each other this season. This is the third matchup between these two programs. Alabama won both of them 2-1 here at Sewell Thomas Stadium back on February 18th, and then on March 4th, they won 13-4. We'll step out for a quick break and come back with the first pitch. Justin LeBron and the Crimson Tide hoping to advance to the 1-0 game on Saturday night. NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Chains, the order of the day here at Sewell Thomas Stadium prior to Game 2 of the Tuscaloosa Regional. Alabama State will head to the plate to start off matters, and Trey Calloway, the key guy for this team in terms of power. He led the SWAC with 16 home runs.
Yes, he has led the SWAC with 16 homers and obviously leading this team as well. He will need to be a big part of what they're able to do, but the problem is he's 203 on the road. Can he bring that production on the road here to Sewell Thomas Stadium tonight?
Welcome to Tuscaloosa, Alabama and Sewell Thomas Stadium. Derek Jones and Jared Mitchell with you for Game 2 of the Tuscaloosa Regional between Alabama State and Alabama. It's Tyler Fay on the mound for the Crimson Tide, Jared.
You will get the big junior, the big 6'5 junior. Tyler Fay is a true 5-pitch mix guy, 2-seam, 4-seam, cutter, slider, and changeup. The changeup and slider have been absolutely elite, and the changeup has also been incredible against lefties. All three of those described 40+% whiff rate against those guys. So look for him to be able to mix those pitches up and get to work.
And it's Devin Chandler who swings and misses at the first pitch. We are underway from Sewell Thomas Stadium. The winner of this game will face USC Upstate in Game 4 of this regional, the 1-0 game. That will take place tomorrow night. And down goes Devin Chandler. He strikes out to open up the top of the first. The Alabama State lineup is one that throughout the season has been powerful, led by the catcher, Trey Calloway, 16 home runs, which leads the SWAC.
Yeah, Trey Calloway and Miguel Oropeza have been their power sources in this lineup. If they're going to get things done today, they will have to be a huge part of what they do against Tyler Fay and this Alabama Crimson Tide ball club.
Braden Devine, the shortstop, behind here 0-1. Make that 0-2. A strong start here thus far for Tyler Fay, throwing strikes early. Devine, the regular shortstop for Alabama State. Strikes out on 3 pitches.
And Tyler Fay looking about as sharp as he can possibly look to start this game here. He's got the 2-seam and the 4-seam working. He's throwing that slider early, especially to that glove side. And if he's throwing like this, he's going to be an absolute problem for this Alabama State lineup. And like I said earlier, I expect him to try to go as long as he possibly can in this, because a win in game 1 will mean a ton to your ball club, especially in a double elimination tournament where you're already putting yourself on the winner's bracket side.
And finally, Tyler Fay shows he's human. He throws a ball. His first 6 pitches had been strikes, 5 of them swings and misses. Here's Miguel Oropeza, the SWAC tournament MVP.
And you talk about the 6 straight strikes to start the game. He's only got 20 walks in 90 innings this year. Shows you how well he does with pounding the zone and attacking hitters. And when he's commanding that 2-seam and that 4-seam, he becomes a huge problem to deal with because of his ability to be able to also work the cutter off of it, the slider off of it, and that changeup, as we talked about as well.
Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fay, in his last outing, a rough one, 13-3 loss against Florida in the SEC tournament, went 4 2/3 innings. And this will be deposited in the left field for a base hit. So Oropeza is a 2-out base runner, first hit of the contest for the Hornets.
And Fay chose to go to the 4-seam fastball here, and look, he's amped up. That fastball got up to 97, but Oropeza, a really good hitter in this Alabama State lineup, is able to get barrel to it and shoots it out to left field for the first base hit of the ball game. And like you talked about in Fay's last outing, only 76 pitches in that ball game against Florida Mountain View. This is the same Florida team that he no-hit on March the 20th earlier in the year. So they got a chance to see him for a second time. I'm sure they were waiting on him. They got what they needed to get done to get the win in that ball game, and obviously got to the bullpen as well.
That's the interesting part of it. 9 games since that no-hitter, 5.16 ERA. Count at 2-0.
The one thing Fay does really well that I don't know if people really understand is there's only been 2 games this year where Tyler Fay has not gone 5+ innings. His very first start of the year and his very last one right before this one, right? And so the ability to do that shows you why they've been so good as a staff, because he's given the ability for that bullpen to rest for the most part and given them a chance to show up more in game 2 or 3 if they have to.
The junior Nigel Jenkins with a runner on, sends this one out towards center field, right to Bryce Fowler. Good inning for Tyler Fay. When we come back, the bottom of the first, we'll see Justin LeBron and the Crimson Tide offense. No score heading to the bottom of the first inning in the Tuscaloosa Regional. Opening round action, Alabama State and Alabama. So Crimson Tide set to head to the plate here in the bottom half of the first, and there is Justin LeBron. a dangerous hitter and one of the potential high-level draft prospects playing in this NCAA tournament.
Yeah, as you can see it there at the bottom of the screen, has decided to show off the wheels this year with 38 stolen bases, more than he had put together in his career previously. 2 for 4 in his last game with a double. He's hitting 300 in May. He's starting to come around. And folks, when you watch this young man play, he is one of the most specially talented players there is out there to offer in this year's draft prospects group. You watch him play, I think if he's able to do and play at his ability, it will be a huge boost to this ball club as they go forward. But he's a big key to what they do. Make no mistake about that.
Jorhan Laboy on the hill for Alabama State, and the senior has been one of the more consistent parts of this Alabama State team as of late.
Yes, the Puerto Rican senior has been awesome for them this year. He's 9-5 with a 4.83 on the season and 85 innings of work. He's not a strikeout guy. He will work the fastball, slider, and changeup. He's got a 3.32 ERA on the road this season. He's been sub-4 in April and May. He loves to use that slider to put away left-handers, and he loves to go to his changeup to put away right-handers.
He will face Bryce Fowler to start up the bottom of the first inning.
As you see him go first pitch slider there, he is not afraid to mix and match anything at any time.
Fowler swings at this one, drives it out towards center field, going back and off the glove of Jenkins. Fowler racing around second base. Head first slide into third, and it's a leadoff triple for Bryce Fowler.
And that is how you show up to start off a regional. That is a nice, compact swing by Bryce Fowler. He takes the fastball dead central, and the play to be made makes it tough right at the wall. It's not made, and kudos to Bryce for off the bat, making sure he's moving. And yeah, go ahead, flex a little bit at third, young man. Enjoy this.
We had a chance to visit with him yesterday, and it was really a cool thing to talk to him and get his vibe and take on this season and how this regional sets up. And you could tell he had a lot of respect for this Alabama State team, but he said you almost have to throw out those first 2 games because they didn't see our weekend crew and we didn't see theirs.
100%, and I think he understood that. Is, you know, their best, the meat of their pitching staff will come from those guys that are going to start on the weekend, especially Tyler Fay, and he knew that that's who they were going to get today. And he understands it's a different ball club when Tyler Fay and Zane Adams and Miles Upchurch get on the bump and pitch for them. And those are the guys that are going to be going most likely all weekend long here.
2-1 to Justin LeBron. 14 home runs on the year. The team leader in that category. And he can't connect with that one, even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. LeBron pops this one towards center field. It's caught by Jenkins. Tagging and scoring is Fowler, and it is 1-0 Alabama.
There you go with the pitch sequence here. You can see LeBoy trying to get him out, tries to elevate first, comes back to the heater down, and he throws the elevated heater again, and he goes to that slider down and in and gets a swing over, and he tries to stuff that fastball in on the last pitch and wasn't able to get it quite in. LeBron's able to get back to it and drive it in for a sac fly to center.
Brady Neal steps in. And when you list the reasons as to why this Alabama team has been so good this season, here's one of the reasons. Brady Neal, his progression as a player.
Yeah, the way Brady's come on this year and having his best year in college ball has been special for this Alabama team. He's had a down May, But if this is one that they can get going, if he starts to get himself going again, I think it really helps this team. And a lot of what he does is when he's hot early on in the game in that first inning situation, he usually tends to kind of go. He's hitting on the season 447 in the first inning. That's pretty good, I'd say.
And he's doing it in a different manner this year because typically he's been a catcher primarily. He's played a lot in the outfield this season, including tonight as the right fielder.
His versatility is really, it's opened things up for this lineup, and the ability to put Johnny Lim in the lineup and put him behind the plate as well. Speak to their staff, they still think Brady Neal is the best catcher on their team, but it also shows you what kind of player he is, what kind of young man he is. To go out there and play in the outfield, play it well to allow this team to be a better ball club.
There's Rob Vaughn surveying matters with his team up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. And the off-speed delivery fouled away.
It's going to be really important, especially for the lefties in this lineup against LeBoy, as you have a soft tossing lefty, if they're really understanding to try to take away that pull side of the field, to try to use the middle of the field as much as possible, because you are going to have to let the ball travel further, and it's going to feel like you're standing there forever.
Seventh pitch to Neal is grounded over to second base, and Espaillat able to make the throw for out number 2. That'll bring in Jason Torres, the regular third baseman for Alabama. 7 home runs on the year, hitting .241. And the Hornets shading Torres as a pull hitter. The 0-1. 0-2.
Torres is another one of those older statesmen on this ball club, well-liked veteran. People understand that he knows how to play the game. He's a good third baseman. He's been in this lineup all year, and he's been a big part of what they do.
Leadoff triple from Bryce Fowler. Sac fly RBI from Justin LeBron. 1-0 Alabama with a 1-2 count. Hit over to short, fielded by Devine. And the Hornets are out of the bottom of the first, but the Crimson Tide get on the board first. They lead it 1-0 after 1. Alabama leads Alabama State 1-0. Trey Calloway, the catcher for Alabama State. He hit a 3-run homer in the 6th inning of the SWAC championship game to give Alabama State a 6-run lead. A lead they would not lose as they defeated Florida A&M to win the SWAC title. When Calloway homers, by the way, Alabama State 13-3 this season. One and one to the sophomore out of Georgia. One and two. This is the third meeting this season between Alabama and Alabama State. They first met on February 18th right here at Sol Thomas Stadium. A 2-1 win for Alabama. Some defensive miscues by Alabama State in that contest, leading to the 2 runs and the victory for the Crimson Tide. And then Alabama followed that up with a win in March, much easier, 13-4. 2-2 to Calloway.
I think it's definitely important to know that they came here and played a very good ball game in a 2-1 loss to Alabama. So that shows you they are ready for this opportunity. Obviously, we talked about it. They didn't see Tyler Fay, but they know what they're up to. They've seen video. They know what's going on.
Down goes Calloway. Fay gets him with an off-speed offering.
Tell you what, early on, he has really got that slider working to the outside part of the plate early on, and it is just running away from barrels. And they're going to have to make an adjustment on either finding a way to get to it or finding a way to spit on it and not swing.
Third strikeout for Fay, all of the swinging variety. Jackson Williams swings through that pitch. Oh, and 2.
And this is when he becomes really tough, when he's fitting that fastball into his glove side and also landing the slider there as well.
Missed up the ladder that time. Alabama State, you saw the SWAC championship victory, making their 3rd NCAA regional appearance, first since 2022. And that one, a swing and a miss, getting away, and the throw is not there as Williams is able to beat it out after the 3rd strike got away from John Lim, and the throw pulling Luke Vaughn away from the bag.
Well, this was interesting. Goes up. I'm not quite sure he touched the bag right here. And it looks like Rob is trying to challenge and see, did he make a move towards second as well? As you can tell, Luke Vaughn was told to go and tag him again. So they're going to have a little meeting about this one.
Again, this is one of the things with the 2 bases now, with the green one being on the outer portion of the line. That's the bag he can touch. And it looks like his foot does touch that bag. Now, the other part you're alluding to, did he make a move towards second base?
It looked like the foot touched the bag on the slide of the foot after.
Is under review.
So I'm not sure the foot touched it when it hits ground, but it looks like when the foot slid forward is when it touched, but the tag was already on him at that point. See, it goes down there, but you can see it slid forward before the toe clipped the bag.
So we'll see if that tag got there before Williams' foot.
Yeah, that's clearly way in front. The tag's on him already. He's out.
Yes.
So the foot was not on the bag. The tag gets on him, and you can clearly see that toe slide forward and just go ahead and barely touch the bag at that point. And that's when he actually made contact with the bag. So I think this is going to get overturned. I think he's going to be out.
So they're going to look at this again.
I think the last view that we got was the one that showed us a ton. This is going to be hard to see it from here.
By the way, they're also looking to see if there's interference here on the part of Williams. And there's a look at the DB Sport Replay Operations Center out in Pittsburgh. That is who is helping this umpire crew. Take a look at this play.
Just look at when the tag gets on him, and then you'll see here, you'll see this foot slide forward. That's when the foot touches the bag. So I think this is going to be an out call, and it'll get overturned.
And if it is an out, I mean, first of all, that is an incredibly athletic play there made by Luke Vaughn. The throw offline, and he's able to retrieve it and then make the tag.
Yeah, knowing that the throw was going to be in a spot where it might be like hitting the runner, to go up, make the play, and get the tag down is pretty impressive and pretty athletic.
So the call will be changed to an out. Mike not on in the house, but everyone understands that signal.
Signal's been around baseball since baseball started, right?
You don't need a mic for that. It'll be Cale Clark in at the plate. The designated hitter for Alabama State this evening. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it away. That play is officially scored as a strikeout. But the 2-3, Lem to Vaughn, in addition to the strikeout.
Just how you practice it every day.
Fay is just on a different level right now with the off speed. Baffling the Hornets batters so far. And that one caught a piece of Clark. He'll head over to first base.
Yeah, you can tell Fay's definitely not happy about that. Just hung on to it a little bit too long, yanked it, and goes and hits Clark. But yeah, I mean, Fay has been incredible. When he's missed with that slider, by the way, so far, that is where he's missed. He just hasn't had lefties in the box as much trying to throw it. See if this kind of throws his rhythm off a little bit by having to get out of the stretch.
Another slider falling off the table from Fay. This time to Alex Espaillat. The sophomore batting .245 on the year. 0-2.
And he's just giving them absolute fits with this slider over and over again.
Runner on the move. Ball gets away from Lem, but Lem makes the toss to Vaughn over at first base. And 3 strikeouts for Tyler Fay in the second. 1-0 Crimson Tide. Today is the first step on the road to Omaha with the Men's College World Series beginning June 12th on ESPN. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home of all NCAA championships. The greatest show on dirt. What a day one it has been on the road to Omaha as regional action beginning today. And one of the national seeds staked to a 1-0 lead. The Crimson Tide at the plate in the bottom of the second. John Lim, the catcher, at the plate. Now, one of the interesting dynamics today, some of the regional hosts already falling by the wayside in day one, losing their opening outing. Auburn, Southern Miss, and perhaps most surprisingly, UCLA, the #1 team in the nation, losing to St. Mary's 3-2.
I don't know. I'm pretty surprised by that Auburn one.
Yes.
If you would have told me Auburn would have lost the game at home, I would have never told you the other team was going to put up 13 on them. The way they've pitched lately, the kind of pitching staff that they have, and how good they've been all year, that one really surprises me, the way that one went down.
They've been one of the best pitching staffs in the country all year long, and then today, falling flat thanks to Milwaukee's bats. John Lim hitting .244 on the year, 9 home runs. And that 1-2 pitch, a little too inside, 2-2. One of the things that Rob Vaughn, the head coach of Alabama, talked about was the ability to host and having an atmosphere that made it tough on the opponent. As Lim hits this one, and Espaillat has it deflect off his glove. Lim is safe over at first base.
Yeah, 100%. He talked about wanting to have that and the atmosphere be something here. But as you can see, Lim here trying to get himself back going as he's been cold lately. But it's a hard ground ball to the backhand side of Espaillat. He's just not able to glove it and make the play across, and you get the leadoff hitter on. And it's a good start in the inning for this Alabama team.
Eric Hines, the DH, the free swinging freshman. 0-1.
And by free swinging, as you see there, first pitch swinging, he has swung at over 50% of the first pitches he's seen. So literally you could flip a coin, but let me tell you what, when he runs into something, it is pretty much a light show. It's impressive.
Ground ball over to third. They go to second for one as Santana able to make the throw to Espaillat. Hines safe over at first.
Rob Vaughn couldn't do anything but light up in his opportunity to talk about Eric Hines and getting him in the lineup and what he does and could mean to the lineup as he continues to go along. So it's understood that he's a big piece of what they do, and a lot of how they go will be how he goes as well. And him learning and coming along as a young freshman, he's loved every bit of what he's been able to do so far for them.
Here's a second baseman, Brennan Holt. Well, when you talk about X factors in this regional, Hines is one of them because of his ability to hit balls into orbit.
Literally orbit too. He's got so much power. He's got so much pop in his bat. And as he starts figuring out, continuing to learn how to control the strike zone, continuing to learn how to lay off that slider in the dirt, he's only going to get better. And I think as that becomes a thing, watch out.
Hold ahead here, 2-0. High in the air for Braden Devine. And Devine collects for out number 2. The winner of this game will face USC Upstate tomorrow night in the 1-0 game. The loser of this contest will take on Oklahoma State. If you missed game 1, Upstate defeated Oklahoma State 8-5 in a game where Oklahoma State left 13 runners on base and went 0 for 5 with the bases loaded. They had tons of opportunities in the last couple of innings, could not cash in on them. And that put the Spartans into the 1-0 game, and also giving them their first tournament win. This one blasted to left and gone. Luke Vaughn with a 2-run homer, and it is 3-0 Alabama.
Yeah, and he was able to get a pitch that he was able to scoop down and in. Looks like here, and that ball leaves the bat at 94 miles an hour and goes 357 feet and plates 2 more runs for this Crimson Tide ball club.
And this is what you like to see if you're an Alabama fan. This offense picking up some momentum, and they've got it with a 3-0 lead. Peyton Steele, the left fielder. Trying to add to the woes of Jorhan Laboy, who just gave up his 11th home run of the season.
Doing a good job of being patient at the plate and laying off these breaking balls that are just dipping below the zone. Peyton Steele's one on the season that if you've missed over the middle, that's where he's gotten to you a lot, and I think that's the reason why he's in this lineup, is his ability to kind of turn it over when getting mistakes in the middle of the plate.
And a walk drawn by Steele as we get a look at the big fly from Luke Vaughn.
As you can see, he got the heater there and was able to get that bat head out, and yeah, he didn't miss that ball, and he knew it. And you can see that dugout jumping out, knowing that they had a couple runs about to be deposited on that board as well. You see him dancing in there.
Bryce Fowler at the plate. He led the game off in the bottom half of the first inning for Alabama with a triple on a ball that deflected off of the glove of Nigel Jenkins out in center field. And then Fowler scored on a sac fly from Justin LeBron. This one skied in the air towards left field, and Chandler makes the catch, but Alabama tacks on 2 with a 2-run homer from Luke Vaughn over the left field fence. A long distance dedication to make it 3-0 Crimson Tide. Tyler Fay picked up a no-hitter earlier this season back on March 20th against Florida. And that really started the momentum for this Alabama team.
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible at that point. Did that against Florida. I believe a weekend later they swept Auburn here as well. And they really started to get rolling and starting to cook. And I think when you watch him pitch, like I said, it's not so much about the no-hitter. Yeah, the no-hitter was great, but his secret sauce is his ability to get on the mound, pound strike zones, work quick. You got to imagine the defense, when you watch him work, a defense loves playing behind a guy who will grab the ball, will continue to pitch. He doesn't give a whole lot of emotion, whether it's strike, ball, whatever it is, and just continues to go to work. And it's easy to work and play behind a guy that pitches the way he does, and it's the biggest reason why he is their game one starter when he is.
Vaughn to Fay for the first out of the inning to get Santana. And after that no-hitter, he certainly had his ups and downs on the mound. An ERA over 5 since that no-hitter. And sometimes you see that in baseball after somebody has a performance like that. Over the next handful of games, it can be difficult for them to kind of get back to that same level.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I think Tyler Fay is one of these guys that we're going to look up in a couple years and think that he's a better pro than he is a college player. I think his ability to work in the strike zone as much as he does and his willingness to throw as many strikes as he does kind of gets him, quote unquote, if you want to call it, in trouble in college ball because of the bats. I think once he gets to playing against wooden bats every day, missing barrels as much as he does is going to play to his strength.
Just missing there. He struck out Chandler in Chandler's first appearance. By the way, that no-hitter by Fay back on March 20th, the 9th in program history. And it's fouled away. Considering just how prolific offenses can be in college baseball, when you see somebody throw a no-hitter, that is, in this era, incredible to see.
It's 100% incredible, the fact that he was able to do it. And honestly, watching a guy go 9 innings, you don't get much of that in today's baseball as well. So watching him do it the way he did it, he threw 120+ pitches in that ball game. And like you said, to finish out an actual no-hitter in college baseball with aluminum bats and how things go today is so impressive, and he was able to do it.
This one driven out towards center field, and Fowler makes the catch right in front of the wall. Chandler gave it a ride, but 2 down.
Once again, he's challenging his own. Chandler, very good swing on it, hits it well, but Fowler's got a beat on it. He's able to go back, goes back with as good as any other center fielder in the league, and as you can see, makes the play right in front of that wall. Styling on it a little bit. I like the play. Fowler's been such a good ball player, and you know the players call him Unc because of, quote unquote, if you want to say his age, but he understands. He likes to call it seasoning, right? Like, he's been here for a while, he's seen a thing or two, and he's able to kind of give that wisdom to some of the younger guys on this ball club.
Braden Devine stepping in. Devine 0-1 with a strikeout. Now he's ahead here, 3-0. Alabama State just looking for some sign of momentum here against Tyler Fay, who has been really tough on him through the first 2 2/3 innings.
And this is what Alabama State needs, honestly. Some long at-bats, starting to make Tyler Fay work a little bit. They need to get him out the stretch again and make him be uncomfortable and kind of not in his own rhythm, if you will.
And there's a walk to Devine. So Devine's a 2-out base runner for Miguel Oropeza. Oropeza ended that run of strikeouts for Fay back in the first inning. Fay struck out the first two batters in Chandler and Devine with ease before Oropeza picked up the first hit of the game for Alabama State.
And listen, Callaway's been awesome, but Oropeza, I think, has been the one right here in the middle of this lineup that's been incredible for him. He's over 360 in every single month this season at the plate, and this month in May, he's hitting about 400 right now. So you can see how much he's meant to this lineup, and putting him behind Devine and Chandler at the top of the lineup has been really good for this ball club.
First team all-SWAC selection. And he's another guy who can change a game with a swing of the bat. 65 RBIs on the year, the program record. Tyler Fay has some company at the mound, and we talked about his strikeouts early on in this game. That's been a big part of his success.
What he's done with the slider to the glove side of the plate has been nothing short of impressive today, and he's really given the Alabama State hitters fits as he's been able to really work that two-seam and that slider and kind of tunnel those two pitches, and making it really hard on them to figure out how to get to those pitches. The one true mistake he's made so far today was a two-strike heater he's thrown over the plate to Oropeza, and he hit it for a single in the left field, but it's been all Tyler Fay since.
There's a strike to make it 2-1. 5 strikeouts, 15 swings and misses from Alabama State batters. Just off the corner, 3-1.
And I don't think people really truly understand, like, that pitch is a ball, easily a ball. But to touch on the point of playing defense behind someone like Tyler Fay, those close misses always keep you in it, because as a defensive player, all you want to see is pitchers be in and around the zone, and it keeps you engaged, it keeps you locked in, keeps you on your feet.
Fouled away, count moves full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. With Devine over at first base, we'll hear from Jose Vasquez, the head coach of Alabama State, in the bottom of the 3rd inning. But he's hoping there's a little bit more to this top of the 3rd. And this one is driven out towards left field and deep, back to the wall. Goodbye. A 2-run homer from Miguel Oropeza, and the Alabama State faithful have something to cheer about. It's a 3-2 game as the Crimson Tide lead is cut to a run.
What did I speak on earlier? Miguel Oropeza has been awesome in this lineup. How about 101 exit velocity off the bat here? 417 feet on a hung slider over the middle of the plate, and he didn't miss a single stitch of that baseball.
That one way out of here, to the delight of the Alabama State dugout. Miguel Jenkins, who's 0 for 1, behind 0-1. And he'll put the chain on to celebrate the homer. Popped in the air, first base side, foul territory, and the catch is made by Luke Vaughn. But Jose Vasquez will have something good to talk about here coming up in a moment after the 2-run homer hit by Miguel Oropeza to trim the deficit to 1. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. It's a 3-2 game. Alabama leading Alabama State. Derek Jones, Jared Mitchell, joined right now by the head coach of Alabama State, Jose Vasquez. And Coach, how about your team's response there in the top of the third?
We're going to battle, man. I know that if I know these guys like I know them, we're going to compete. We're here. We got to make some plays. I thought that those two plays could have been made. I know center field was a little tougher play, but we got them in place. But we're going to compete. We're going to fight. Like I said, these guys they stand for each other. So we're going to continue to. It's a long ball game. So we got to just make plays and keep throwing strikes and see what happens.
Coach, how much juice does that give your ball club to see Oropeza do what he's been so used to doing for your ball club this year, which is coming through in clutch situations just like he did?
Well, it gets you back in the game, right? So I think it's a little bit of momentum change right there. Let's hope that we can get into this inning and put a 0. But, we got our hands full, man. That's a really good team that we're facing, really good arm. We know that well coached. So we just got to keep competing. That's all the way that I got it mapped out in my head. We got to compete.
Coach, thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Justin LeBron in and fouls that pitch away. Miguel Oropeza taking Tyler Fay deep. And that shifts the confidence in this game for Alabama State, who was down 3-0, now a 3-2 game. The boy going up the ladder to make it 1-2 against Justin LeBron.
This is exactly what they tried a lot earlier on. It was using that fastball up in the zone. Look for him to go ahead and try to bury that breaking ball again as he did in his first at bat.
LeBron strikes out for the first out of the inning.
That's kind of been the book on LeBron, if you're able to get him out, is being able to show him soft away. Now, obviously, this ball was diving in and on his feet, but as the look of it away, he's had a tendency to chase to that side of the plate. So if you show him soft that way, you're getting them to swing out and over it, and he's done it twice to him. Obviously, the first at bat didn't end that way, but he's thrown that pitch twice to him and gotten him to swing on top of it.
1-0 to Brady Neal. When we talked to Jose Vasquez yesterday, he mentioned he wanted people to recognize that his team belongs here. And after a rocky start, they have gotten better as the game has worn on. They've gotten settled in, and now it's just a one-run ball game.
Yeah, I think it's something special about people understanding what it takes for teams like his to get here. Traditionally, they don't get multiple bids out of the conference. So you play a 56-game schedule and you can be great, but you have to go into that tournament and win it seemingly. And it puts a huge burden on the team, understanding that it doesn't really matter what you do during the year, that part of the year is that important for them. So for you to go in and do it shows you have a dangerous team, because they all know it going into that tournament, that we come out on the other side of this is how we continue to play.
And also keep in mind, Alabama State enters this game having won 8 games in a row. That's tied for the longest active winning streak in the nation heading into today with the Citadel, who had also won 8 in a row. And Brady Neal puts this one into center field for a base hit. It's fumbled by Jenkins. Neal takes advantage and heads to second base. And Neal at second base after a defensive miscue from Alabama State.
Goes down, then he tries to go with the breaking ball, stuffs one in there, throws a heater by him, tried to double up and do it again, couldn't get it, and then he leaves this one, the last one, over the plate, and Neal gets to it. This is the Brady that they've been looking for. 2 hits in his last game in the SEC tournament. If he can return to this form, it is huge for this ball club. And when you watch him play, taking second base on him, barely a bobble like that, shows you this young man's having fun out there. He's just playing the game. He's playing fun. He's alert. And those things are infectious to a ball club as well.
transfer from LSU. And he's really found himself this season.
Yeah, I think when he came into LSU, he was a 17-year-old freshman that everybody knew was a huge prospect. And I think talking with Rob Vaughn, it almost seemed like he wanted to live up to that title for as long as he was going, until he just figured out, I just need to play my game. And as you see him come out the box, he understands where his ball is. As soon as he sees this bobble, he's gone. He's off. Playing alert baseball, playing fun baseball. And those type of things a team will feed off of.
There's a strike to Jason Torres, and you're seeing a little bit of what Alabama baseball was about this season. They're not a team that is going to spray the ball to all areas of the field all the time. If they get a crack, if you give them a chance, they'll make you pay for it, and that's what's happened in this game so far. As Torres hits this one over to short, going to be a tough play offline, and Torres is safe at first base. Devine had to go deep in the hole there, and that made it mission impossible to cut down Torres.
Yeah, he had to make that play deep in the 6 hole. Tried to gather himself and make a strong throw, knowing he had time, but he had the bobble. The bobble sped up that internal clock, and he wasn't able to put the throw on the target where it needed to be.
It is officially counted as an error. Second error of the inning committed by Alabama State in this inning. No action in the bullpen for Alabama State, so.
And you can see Coach Vasquez, I don't know if you saw walking up, he instructed all of the infielders to stay at their position. He wanted this conversation just to be between the 3 of those guys up there right now.
And this is the thing, I mean, if you're LeBoy, you have to be a little frustrated from what's happened, because he has pitched well by and large, but some defensive mishaps have cost him in this inning.
Yeah, it's definitely not ideal to be looking at 3 errors on the board and you're not even through a full 3 innings, but he has to continue to keep pitching. LeBoy has to continue to keep making pitches, throwing strikes, and doing what he can, his job, to get these hitters out.
The 0-1 to John Lim is a ball, 1-1. Lim 0 for 1. Thus far, reached base due to an error in his first plate appearance. Popped up. Devine is there. 2 outs.
You'll get the infield fly rule there too as well. Lim just a little bit off the middle of that baseball. Swings are starting to look better at the plate as of late, and I think that's huge for him. Obviously, he would like to get the hit. Obviously, he'd like to do more, but the swings are starting to look a little bit better and closer to where he was early in the year when he was going good.
Eric Hines at the plate with 2 on. Torres at first base, Neal at second for the freshman.
I think the amount of helium in terms of confidence it could blow in a kid like this, making an impact in a situation like this, would be awesome for him and for this ball club as well.
Can't connect on that offering. 1-1. We'll hear from Rob Vaughn, the head coach of Alabama, coming up in the top of the 4th inning. Ground ball over to third. Fielded by Santana, makes the throw. That ends the inning. No further damage by Alabama. They still lead it by 1.
You get the hard ground ball here, and the play is made. Keep this game right where it's at a 3-2 ball game.
(3-2) lead for Alabama. Top of the fourth inning, Derek Jones and Jared Mitchell with the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Rob Vaughn. Coach, take us through what you've seen from Tyler Fay so far.
Yeah, man, electric early, man. That first was about as good as he's been, man. Just really good slider. Sinkers taking off down at the bottom at 95, really good, which, you know, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of energy to go start this game. Probably exerted a little more juice than he normally would in the first, and really made some good pitches. You know, the biggest mistake is just walking Devine kind of with an uncompetitive walk there and making him put the ball in play. And you got a guy behind him that had a heck of a week last week at the tournament. I think he had 10 hits last week and kind of carried him through that. And just a 3-2 slider. It's really not a bad slider. Just kind of a way just up enough, and he got his arms extended and hammered it. And so, you know, just got to get back in here and get a zero right here.
Coach, talk about Bryce Fowler, seeing him start the game that way. Exciting. How much does he bring to this ball club, putting him at the top of the lineup and kind of set the table?
Yeah, man, he's our heartbeat. There's no doubt about it. The brand of baseball he plays, the way he goes about his business, it's a reason we kind of tinkered with, because he's so good with runners in scoring position. We tinkered with hitting him kind of 3-4 at one point, and it's just too valuable at the top right there. So really good job right there on his part. Getting that thing going in the first there, Braun executing, got us on the board, and so now we just got to do a good job of extending stuff. You know, you make 2 errors that last inning, we got to have a few better bats to kind of punch those across right there. But yeah, man, it's going to be a good ball game. We got to keep coming and not let these guys hang around.
Coach, thanks for your time. We'll let you get back to it.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Roll Tide.
Tell you what, that's the funny thing about baseball. The line drive to left field, 109 miles an hour off the bat. The base hit directly after, it's 67 miles an hour off the bat. And both of them go down as what in the book? Singles.
That's right. Back-to-back hits for the Hornets with nobody out. Cale Clark, 0-1. Clark got hit by a pitch back in the second.
Interesting to see it here. Alabama has both of the corners in, which opens up holes if balls are hit on the ground, but they're expecting a bunt to move these runners. Doesn't seem that Alabama State's playing it that way. They seem to be letting them swing away here, and they haven't moved them, so we'll see how that plays out.
Not showing bunt. There's strike 2.
See if he goes right back to that changeup here, trying to get that ground ball.
Ground ball could be 2. Vaughn turns for 1. The relay, double play.
And there it is. He goes right back to it after stuffing it in there for a strike. He gets the ground ball he's looking for. They're able to make the 3-6-1 double play, which is a good job by Tyler Fay by getting over, finding the bag, making the stretch and the catch at the same time. You don't see that much.
No doubt, because of where Vaughn started that double play. Fay coming over to cover the bag on LeBron's throw. And a missed opportunity there for Alabama State, but Callaway over at third base for Alex Espaillat. One. Fouled away.
Look at him getting off the mound, getting over, finding the bag, making sure he's on it, stepping and doing a good job of seeing it all the way through. That's a really good job of PFP's pitcher fielding practice, if you will, right?
1-2. Out towards Bryce Fowler, right center, makes the catch. And that closes out a threat potentially for Alabama State. Still a one-run lead for the Crimson Tide.
Welcome to Squeeze Play. All the highlights, all the big moments.
You got a chance to have some big-time fireworks.
6 to 8 games on the screen at one time.
You're going to be locked in for that.
The season on the line.
Hashtag Squeeze Play. Send us some tweets. Maybe we'll put you on the social wall.
The storybook season will continue.
ESPN is a home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals for around-the-clock multi-game coverage. Scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. If this is your first go-around with NCAA Baseball Regionals, you've got to try Squeeze Play. Not only try it, enjoy it. It is fantastic stuff throughout the NCAA Baseball Regionals coverage that will continue on throughout the weekend, and for some regions perhaps into Monday. Bunt laid down by Brennan Holt. This is trouble, and an infield single. The ball gets away towards the dugout. Holt will head to second base. Another defensive mishap for the Hornets.
And just an ill-advised throw on a play that could not be made, but the Baton Rouge native Brennan Holt puts down a perfect drag bunt where he pulls it with him, right in no man's land. Nobody can make the play, and they still try to for some reason, and that allowed Holt to get to second base. Now you got a runner at second base with nobody out. And the job by Luke Vaughn is to make sure we're getting him over to third. But remember, Luke Vaughn is who hit the homer earlier in the second inning. So we'll see what they do and what he tries to do at the plate.
Two-run homer earlier from Luke Vaughn. He's got Brennan Holt in scoring position. It'll be called a single for Holt, and then an error by Jackson Williams. Holt dancing around at second base. Into center field. This will fall in front of Jenkins for a base hit. Holt blazing around third base. It's a 4-2 lead for Alabama.
You'll see him hitting the changeup. This is an absolute clinic of situational hitting. He got the fastball in off the plate a little bit. He tries to go with the changeup away. And Luke Vaughn, understanding the job, which is trying to move Holt to third, sees a pitch out over the plate that he can handle, shoots it right back up the middle for a single, and you're able to score. Clinic on situational hitting, and these are the kind of things that this Alabama team has done this year, which has won them a whole bunch of ball games.
Nothing going on in the Alabama State bullpen, and this has to be frustrating for Jose Vasquez. Some of this is just defensive lapses. LeBoy has given up 4 runs, but only one of them actually earned.
Yeah, it's really hard to come on the road, especially in this kind of environment at this time of the year, and to be giving away free outs to a team as good as this Alabama Crimson Tide ball club is, and still expecting to think you're going to win a ball game like this. Still obviously in it. It's a 4-2 game, but these are the things you think about on the backside when it's all said and done. So I'm sure that's kind of the mindset he's going with when he's going out there and talking to him, making them understand we can't continue to give outs away and opportunities to them the way they have so far early in this ball game.
Peyton Steele drives this to left field. And the catch is made there out and left. It's tough to tell from our vantage point, but he snuck that in. Great play made there by Devin Chandler right before the wall.
Devin Chandler got down into that corner and made a play, and you can see the kids in the corner thought they were getting a souvenir, and it didn't happen to fall their way.
Bryce Fowler 1 for 2 with a triple and a run scored. Oh, 1 fouled away. Well, one of the themes so far through the first game and change of the Tuscaloosa Regional has been errors. Errors committed by Oklahoma State. Yes, they left a lot of runners on base, but they committed a lot of mistakes in the field, and of course the wild pitches and pass balls. And here's one that gets away from Trey Callaway, allowing Luke Vaughn to advance to second base.
Did you do that on purpose? Was that? It's
Jedi mind tricking.
My goodness. Yeah, 3 errors in the first game by Oklahoma State. There's 4 already tonight, if you will, by Alabama State. And Bryce Fowler's one. He loves hitting at this place, by the way. 351 on the year at home as opposed to just 271 on the road. So this is a spot for him. And you also talk about what he's done with runners in scoring position. He's hitting a smooth 400 there, which I think we may have the script.
Fowler has his second hit of the day. This will drive in Luke Vaughn. 5-2 Alabama after the RBI single from Bryce Fowler.
This is twice Bryce Fowler's been on the bat, and has been on the barrel, and the one time he wasn't was a pop-up that if you watched, he thought for sure he just missed that pitch. So he feels good. He loves hitting in this place, and you can see him taking that fastball and driving it right back up the box for another hit and another RBI single. Score a run. 5-2 Alabama.
One of the big question marks heading into this regional was Alabama's offense, hitting just over 250 as a team heading into this regional. And perhaps fairly, questions asked whether this offense had enough to be able to get through this regional.
It's definitely a fair question, especially considering the competition that was coming in. When you saw a team like Oklahoma State showing up second in the country in homers, fourth in the country in extra base hits, you felt like, obviously they're not done here yet, but you felt like, all right, well, if you're going to have to match up and beat a team like that, you're probably going to have to swing it. And they got some other good ball clubs in the regional as well. So it's definitely a fair thought coming into it, but they play well here. They pitch well here. This place is one of the tougher places in the SEC, at least, to hit home runs at. I think all of those things kind of play in favor for how this Alabama team plays. And right now they're sitting with a 5-2 lead, feeling good about where they are.
Hit and run on. Fowler took off, but LeBron fouls it away. Camden Matthews getting loose for the SWAC champions. One out, one on, two across in the fourth for Alabama. By the way, Bryce Fowler, 15 of 17 this season in the stolen base department. And Justin LeBron strikes out for the second time tonight.
There it is, that breaking ball once again out and over the plate or out and away. And the better he gets at being able to either back that ball up and hitting it the other way or taking it, that's when I think you'll really see Justin LeBron take off and start playing to what we know is his potential.
Another hit for Brady Neal. Jenkins gets to it, but another run is going to score for Alabama. It's an RBI hit for Brady Neal as Bryce Fowler brings in run 6 for the Crimson Tide. 6-2 Alabama.
There's a true double here by Brady Neal. Gets a pitch out over the plate that he can handle, just laces 107-mile-per-hour line drive into the right center field gap, and you see him run the bases with fun. You see Bryce Fowler doing his thing, and I think that's going to run our starting pitcher here and get us into the bullpen to see what Alabama State can do to muster up and stay in this ball game.
Jorhan LeBoy's day could be coming to an end after an RBI hit from Brady Neal. LeBoy is out, and the Alabama lead is at 6-2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And how about this passion from the Crimson Tide? Seizing the moment, leading 6-2.
the real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
The winner of this game will take on Upstate in the 1-0 game on Saturday night. The loser of this contest will see Oklahoma State tomorrow afternoon. Of course, everything leading towards the winner of this regional advancing to Super Regionals. Jorhan Laboy, 3 2/3, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 1, struck out a couple. By the way, he's still on the hook for Brady Neal at second base.
And I think the line's going to look, at the end of the day, a lot worse than what it actually was. You sitting up there with the 4 errors up there. This could have been played cleaner and given him a better chance to kind of get deeper into the ball game.
Alabama State turns to the SWAC relief pitcher of the year in Camden Matthews.
Shows you where they are. You got Camden Matthews 3-0 with a 3.45 on the season, 57 in the 3rd innings and 48 Ks, 54 hits on the year. He predominantly is going to work with the fastball, slider. He's got a distant 3rd of a changeup and a distant 4th of a cutter/cutterish kind of curveball thing that he throws. But it's going to be mostly the fastball slider that he sticks with, and he's been successful with it. So I'd imagine you'll see a lot of sliders in this situation with runners on in scoring position.
2-0, now 3-0. Matthews made 3 appearances during the SWAC tournament. Overall went 1-0 with an ERA of 6. And there is a walk for Torres.
Matthews has had an outing where he's gone 85 pitches this year. It'd be interesting to see how they go about it, because I think this is another situation where you obviously need quality, you need outs, you need to kind of minimize the damage, but you also need length out of this guy to kind of get you to where you don't have to burn a ton of that bullpen, because if you are in a situation where you go into a loser's bracket game, that's another game you'll have to play on the weekend.
Oh, and that caught John Lim, and he is upset. That one rode in on him.
Slider just got away from him a little bit there, and Lim was a whole lot of yes, 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 no, and finally when he put the brakes on, that backside elbow was kind of exposed, and it kind of caught him on that forearm.
And now the bases are loaded for Eric Hines. Ball 1. Hines is the 9th batter in this inning. The inning started when Brennan Holt laid down a bunt, and he ended up advancing to second base because of an error. 1-0. Gets away from Callaway. Neal is in to score. Runners advance. 7-2 Alabama.
And you can see Matthews just kind of spike a fastball, and I would personally like to see a catcher in this situation knowing that there's runners, ducks on the pond, and an opportunity to score, trying to keep that ball in front of you by trying to get over and block it. Instead, he tries to backhand it. It finds its way to the backstop, and that's another run for Alabama.
The bender connects for a called strike. 2-1 to Hines. So Torres at third. Lim at second. Ground ball. It has eyes for center field. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Torres and Lim are in. It's a 2-run RBI single for Eric Hines, and the lead all of a sudden is 9-2 for Alabama.
We tend to not talk too much about how hard some of these ground balls are hit because it's a ground ball. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 109 miles an hour off the bat of Eric Hines. I'm telling you, when this kid really starts to figure it out in terms of controlling the strike zone, he's going to be special. He got a hanging, spinning, breaking ball right there up in the middle of the zone, and he didn't miss it. It was 109 mile an hour, 2 RBI single.
And here's a hitter who started the chaos in this inning, Brennan Holt. Six runs in the bottom of the 4th for Alabama. But it all started with a bunt single from Brennan Holt.
And Alabama State needs an out here in the worst way. Get off the field. Try to get themselves where they can get back into the dugout and start swinging the bats and get back into the ball game.
Fouled away. Joe Dolencheck, the big lefty, warming up for Alabama State. And this is kind of the scenario that if you're a coach, sometimes you fear maybe when you get into these regionals where you don't get significant length out of your starter. You have to go to the pen early or earlier than you'd like, and then you have to use multiple guys with at least one other game on the way this weekend.
Yeah, this becomes a tough decision, and you got to also think this isn't a time of year where anyone's punting, if you will, to the next game, right? Like, you understand that we need to win ball games to keep ourselves in. No one's given up on a game in the 2nd or 3rd inning. So with that being said, you bring in one of your better relievers, probably your best reliever, thinking that if we can just keep this thing at bay here, we got a chance. It's turned into a 6-run inning, and now that makes it tough on how to go about using the staff going forward.
And Holt strikes out to end the inning, but Alabama sends 10 to the plate. In the bottom of the 4th, they score 6 times. They lead at 9-2. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. It's a 9-2 lead for Alabama. Coming up after the games, the SEC Now crew will break down all of today's SEC baseball and softball action live from the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City. Get the latest news and updates on SEC Network and stream it anytime on the ESPN app. How about Alabama softball in the Women's College World Series, taking down UCLA last night in come from behind fashion.
Very good start for them in the Women's College World Series, and going in as that 1 seed is a thrilling start for them, and this baseball team's looking to follow up as well. Look, I think this is a huge inning for Tyler Fay. course of the year, he's got a 9.8 ERA in the 5th inning alone. Coming in with 66 pitches, I think if he's able to work through this inning cleanly and put up a 0, you may see him get through 8 innings in this ball game just because of where it's at and how the pitch count of it all and how he's able to do this thing.
9-1-2 for the Hornets as Santana drives this one to left field. Steele is there, 1 out. One of the discussion points when you get to regional play is, do you pitch off? Do you decide to take your Friday starter, AKA your #1 guy, and move them to the 1-0 game? The schools of thought vary. We talked to Rob Vaughn about it. He said he wanted to go with his guy and Tyler Fay to open up this regional.
And I honestly think, to his point, the way that this staff is thrown, if he's telling you that Tyler Fay is guy, understand that they have a starting rotation that has 3 guys with 14+ starts. Tyler Fay being the only one that has, this will be his 16th start today because he started in the SEC tournament. But to his point, that's his guy. He also has the highest ERA of those 3 guys, right? But that tells you a lot about what he thinks about him here. So with that being said, I think they feel like they have a rotation, one of the only rotations in the SEC that had the same 3 starters every time they went out there, that they feel fine with all of those guys throwing whenever it is their turn to throw. And I think that they wanted to come out and start this tournament off on the right foot by throwing Tyler Fay tonight.
And thus far, it's paid off with a 9-2 lead. And it does give them a bit of flexibility if he goes long here in this first game. And you can save some of your bullpen for later on. You look at Oklahoma State. They did not have that luxury today in their 8-5 loss. We'll see what their response is tomorrow when they see the loser of this contest, either Alabama or Alabama State.
And Alabama also has 3 relievers in that pen that have 30+ innings on the year. So all of those guys can go, they can be stretched out. And I think that's what they understand is, if our starters go out there and throw the way we expect them to throw, we can always piggyback to at least one of those guys before we bring it home elsewhere. And I think that that's how they like to go about using their staff and also using the back end of that pin.
One-two, blooped into right center for a hit. So Devine is on for the 2nd straight time. First hit of the night for Braden Devine.
And Braden kind of gave you a nice little half swing right there. He got the cutter, wasn't sure what he was going to do with it. Pokes it out in the right center. It's a good job of hitting with 2 strikes in that situation to get Alabama with runners on and trying to get to Tyler Fay here.
And here's one guy who got to Tyler Fay earlier, Miguel Oropeza. He had a 2-run homer that made a 3-0 game 3-2. And he goes around on the first pitch, 0-1.
And Oropeza's done nothing but shown up to Tuscaloosa and just lived on the barrel off of Tyler Fay. They could use a whole lot of that again in this at-bat.
0-2.
Here he is early in his first at bat. He hits the single to left field in a 2-strike situation. And then, oh, I got hanging slider. Yeah, I can handle that as well. Hits that for a 100+ mile an hour homer to left center. So this has been a thorn in Tyler Fay's side so far, but he's able to get him there.
Oropeza strikes out. Another K for Tyler Fay.
And Tyler Fay shows up with the 94-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs to get Oropeza finally. Crimson Tide rolling, 9-2 going into the bottom of the 5th.
Alabama leading 9-2 thanks to a big fourth inning, 5 hits, scoring 6 times, and sending 10 batters to the plate in the bottom of the fourth inning. And that inning has blown this game open for Alabama in what was at one point a 3-2 game. And has it swung dramatically.
Yeah, Bryce Fowler and Brady Neal have been imprinted all over everything that they've done so far in this ball game. Both of them with 2 hits apiece, and the top of this lineup has been rolling, and so is this young man right here who's already hit the homer in this ball game.
The fourth inning started thanks to an infield bunt single from Brennan Holt, and then chaos reigned. RBI hits galore for the Crimson Tide, including a 2-run single from the freshman Eric Hines to make it a 9-2 ball game.
It was almost death by 1,000 cuts, right? They kept finding ways to bunt single, single up the middle, another single up the middle, and keep finding ways to hit you until they just played it pretty much everybody that came to the plate.
And Luke Vaughn starts up the bottom of the 5th with a walk. Camden Matthews back out there in his second inning of work. After spelling Jorhan LeBoy. Fouled away by Peyton Steele.
It's interesting. So Alabama State has the pin going right now. I mean, obviously a couple runs were given up, but this is someone that they've counted on a whole lot this year, and you would imagine that the thought process behind this 19 pitches into this outing is, well, if we can't have him keep us in this spot in terms of keeping us close, who do we need to go to? Because I would imagine for what he's meant to this team this year, they're going to need him again in this tournament. And you would think that they're trying to find a way to save him to come back again in this tournament.
0-2 to Steele, fouled off. Alabama State went 4-0 in the SWAC tournament, beat Grambling 10-0, then won 2 games against Arkansas Pine Bluff, and then in the championship round defeated Florida A&M. But along the way, and that tournament is as grueling of a conference tournament that you'll find. It's very taxing on the pitchers.
Yeah.
And they are asked to do a lot at times depending on how obviously the bracket shakes out. In the air towards right center field, and there to make the catch is Nigel Jenkins. But to that end, they had to use some pitching to get out of there with the conference title. You look at their wins, they gave up 6 runs in the championship round, 5 runs and 7 runs Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then on top of that, a ton of rain mixed into that.
Yeah, I don't think they played a single game as scheduled in that SWAC tournament, so it shows you the adversity that ball club had to go through in terms of staying in where they needed to be mentally in the ball game to be able to, once the game started, play that game, get through it, get a win, get to the next one, and get themselves to a championship opportunity where they obviously eventually won the tournament.
1-0 to Fowler, who has been hot in this game. Fouls it away. And Bryce Fowler started this game off with a triple to center field. Scored on a sac fly from Justin LeBron. Added a run-scoring single to that as well. And he, unsurprisingly, has been a big part of the proceedings for Alabama tonight. This one bounces away from Callaway. And Vaughn able to get to second base.
If you see Bryce Fowler, what he means to the team, he's got so much experience in college ball, and you heard Rob Vaughn talk about them tinkering and thinking about the idea of moving him into a more run-producing spot in that 4-5 spot in the lineup, and ultimately decided he's best for us at the top. What he does, the juice he brings, the bats that he has up here, and he's been really good for him in that spot.
Just to button up the conversation about the SWAC tournament, one of the things to keep in mind about the SWAC, couple of wins this year for the SWAC against SEC teams. Bethune-Cookman beat Florida and LSU in midweek games, so the SWAC, don't sleep on that league. They can create problems, and Bethune-Cookman actually got knocked out of the SWAC tournament by Arkansas Pine Bluff, as Bryce Fowler ends up making his way to first base. And that will lead to a pitching change here in Tuscaloosa. One out here in the bottom of the 5th. And the evening is done for Camden Matthews. Justin LeBron will hit when we come back. It's a 9-2 lead for Alabama. The lefty Joe Dolenchek in the game now for Alabama State with 2 runners on and 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Jared, he'll see Justin LeBron.
Yeah, he'll see Justin LeBron, and Dolenchek will be charged with the opportunity to get them out of this inning. And it's another lefty coming in for this ball club, and you got to imagine the plan is going to be a lot of the same, is to get in with that fastball early and try to put him away with breaking balls that are diving down on his feet. But truthfully, the window that the lefty breaking ball is coming out of is showing him a way, and Justin LeBron has a tendency with 2 strikes to chase away and off the plate. So I think he's seeing these balls, as you can see the kind of swings he has, where he's falling across the plate, thinking that probably that's where it is, and the spin is he's swinging right over the top of these as well.
LeBron fouls away the first pitch. And this year against lefties, he's hitting .247, which is interesting because, you know, typically you think lefty against righty, the righty should have the advantage, but it has not worked out that way at times this season for Justin LeBron.
I think people have really dove into kind of throwing him a lot of soft away stuff, especially when lefties are on the mound, and it's really giving him fits to be able to stay back and use that side of the field. If you watch and see, he's only got 1 of his home runs that he's hit towards the backside of the field. And this is, we're talking about a kid with a lot of thump in the bat, with a lot of ability, and once he starts opening up that part of his game, I really do think he takes off and goes to a completely different level. And that's got to be what scouts see in him, because he's still one of the best prospects out there, and there's so much, feels like, unlocked and untapped talent. And if that talent gets tapped and unlocked, oh my goodness. You watch him move, and there's just not many people that move the way he does out on the ball field.
Looks so smooth when he moves around out there. And he launches this one to deep left field, back and gone. The 15th home run of the season for Justin LeBron. And the lead balloons further for the Crimson Tide. (12-2) Alabama on the 3-run shot from Mr. LeBron.
Well, one thing I would not advise you to do is to throw him heaters over the middle of the plate with 2 strikes. He does just that. And LeBron says, thank you. Here's 105 miles an hour exit velocity for 400 feet, and I'm going to hit this thing over the left field wall for another couple runs. That's an impressive swing by that young man. And yeah, he knew he had every single bit of that leather. Great swing.
And Brady Neal pops this bunt up for a quick out 2.
If he gave Brady a glove, he could have caught that ball running down the first base line. Here's another look at it. They wanted to elevate that fastball, and it was elevated, but not to the lengths that they wanted to elevate. And I'm kind of surprised. Like, you were able to get things going, and he's showing you he's not hitting that breaking ball. Why go away from it? Why try to trick him? Why go away from him and go right back to it? They didn't. He hits the homer.
So after back-to-back strikeouts, Justin LeBron now with 4 RBIs in this game. He had the sac fly ribby in the first, and now the 3-run homer here in the 5th. Jason Torres puts this one in the air, and Espaillat able to make the catch, but Justin LeBron leaves his footprint on this game.
And here you get it. Let's try to elevate the fastball. Oh no, I didn't go upstairs enough. Justin LeBron hits this thing way back. 12-2 Bama.
ESPN is a home for the NCAA College Baseball Regionals for around-the-clock multi-game coverage. Scan the QR code below. ESPN Plus subscribers can access expanded coverage with Squeeze Play. Action heating up in NCAA baseball regionals starting today and then through the weekend. Squeeze play, your place to stay in step with all regional round action. Here's Nigel Jenkins, who has had an adventure at times out in center field tonight. 2-1.
Be interesting to see if Faye's going to be holding the velo that he had on the fastball early. His first 2 pitches, 90 miles an hour. We've seen him up to 96 in this ball game, I believe. Once again, we talked about it, man. Like, this is a guy that is going 5+, going deep in so many ball games for this Alabama team tonight. I wouldn't be surprised at all if, especially with the 12-2 lead, you see him pitching into the 8th, into the 9th. As you just saw him go 1, 2, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Fastball, fastball, fastball. He is showing you, I'm going to give it to you right here over the plate. What will you do with it, especially with the 10-run lead?
Another strikeout recorded by Tyler Fay. Builds upon his great night. 7 strikeouts now for Fay. By the way, the winner of this regional will take on the winner of the Tallahassee regional. And I mention that as this ball is blasted to left field by Trey Calloway. That one is long gone. Trey Calloway makes it a 12-3 game as he crushes that one to left field.
Yeah, he didn't miss that. 395 feet to left field, coming off the bat at 108 miles an hour. Listen, the 2 big bats in this lineup, Oropeza and Callaway, have showed up today. As you can see him here, he gets the heater right over the plate, and he don't miss many of those, and he didn't miss that one, and he knew it.
Second home run in the game allowed by Tyler Fay. All the runs from Alabama State have come from homers. Just to finish up that point about the Tallahassee regional, Florida State becoming the latest national seed to lose today. They lost to St. John's in their opener.
Just what we got, 3 surprises so far? 4?
4.
4 1 seeds go down on day 1 of the tournament.
Gonna be some nervous people on Saturday for sure in elimination games already. Of course, Auburn losing today, UCLA losing, Southern Miss losing, and now add Florida State to the list. The winner of this game will get USC Upstate in the 1-0 game tomorrow night. The loser of this contest will face Oklahoma State in an elimination game. The regional final will take place Sunday night, and then, if necessary, a decisive Game 7 on Monday. Now a meeting at the mound here as the strikeouts mount up for Tyler Fay, up to 8. Up to 93 pitches in the 6th inning with 2 outs. What are you thinking here?
Well, they're going to go to the pen here, and that kind of shows there's a lefty coming back up to the plate. I think it kind of shows you where they wanted to get. They probably felt good about getting him to a certain spot into the ball game, whether it's pitch-wise and or inning-wise, and that's kind of where they've gotten to. So Tyler Fay will leave after 5 2/3 of this ball game, but he's been awesome for them. They leave with a 12-3 lead, handing the ball over.
Tyler Fay gets some love from his teammates after striking out 8 through 5 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 6 hits, and that takes us to a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance, and it is Tyler Fay. 8 strikeouts, showing a little bit of everything tonight on the mound for Alabama, including some sharp fielding ability.
Yeah, you see his ability. There must be some ballroom dancing in his background a little bit to be able to get over there to first base and stick it and play that way. But he was incredible tonight. Really had that slider moving and dancing. Did a great job of sticking the fastball in there early, and he did exactly what you expect an ace to come out and do in a situation like this. Get you through 5, 3 runs, and you're up with a 9-run lead. You got to be feeling good about where you are in this ball game.
The lefty Evan Steckmesser will face Cale Clark, the senior out of Huntsville. Needs just one more out to get out of the inning. And Clark sprays this one out to left field, but Peyton Steele is there to retire the Hornets in the 6th. Tyler Fay out of the game, but he gives up a home run here to Trey Callaway. But otherwise, sharp stuff from Tyler Fay.
Exclusively on ESPN, 40-plus NCAA championships. Confetti rains. Nets are cut. Joy erupts. Hardware is hoisted. History happens here on ESPN, home of NCAA championships.
These two teams separated by about 103 miles and a 2-hour drive. On the scoreboard, they're separated by 9 runs. Alabama leading Alabama State 12-3. And an opportunity for Alabama to potentially advance to the 1-0 game on Saturday night against the Spartans of USC Upstate. Now the umpires are checking in with Rob Vaughn. Not sure about what. Well, John Lim will start the inning off for the Crimson Tide. Hopefully we can find out what that was about at some point, but Lim will begin things here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dolenshek still in for Alabama State. By the way, in case you're wondering at home, is there a run rule situation in this game? No, not in the NCAA tournament.
Negative. You got to get all 27 outs in this tournament.
As they say in pro wrestling, it's one fall to a finish. And that's the case here with this game till the end. Look no further than Georgia Tech today, who mauled UIC 22-5. 22 runs, 22 hits.
And that goes to that conversation we had earlier about the pitching and how you use and utilize a bullpen or a starter, however you go about things, because if I can get into your pen and I can make you use more, that's less available for the next game without you getting bailed out because of a run rule situation.
Georgia up big over LIU. That one delayed in the bottom of the 6th inning, 15-1. The other big winner from today so far, at least in terms of winning by over 10 runs, Texas took out Holy Cross 19-1. So some big scores.
And some big upsets.
And some big upsets for sure. As Lim fouls that one away, and it almost was a 5th top seed falling today, as Florida got a walk-off to knock off Rider 8-7.
Walk-off from Brendan Lawson deep to center field, and the way he swung the bat in this back part of the year has been huge for them, and obviously they needed every bit that they could get from him and that team today to survive a scare.
And for the 3rd time today, John Lim is on. 5th walk allowed by Alabama State pitching.
3rd time today without a hit today so far.
Yes, it's correct. Reached by an error in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 4th, a walk here in the 6th. That brings in Eric Hines. 2-run single in his last plate appearance back in that 6-run 4th inning. And it looks like we could be looking at a switch here for Alabama State. And that'll be all for Joe Dolenchek. Another switch here in Tuscaloosa. We'll have more from Sewell Thomas Stadium in a moment. Alabama up by 9. Today is the first step on the road to Omaha with the Men's College World Series beginning June 12th on ESPN. The NCAA Regionals coverage for all 16 sites continues tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home of all NCAA championships. Another pitching change for Alabama State. It is Caio Araujo, the senior from Brazil, will deal with the freshman Eric Hines.
12th appearance on the year for Caio with a 1-0 record and a 3.32 ERA in his 19 innings of work with 22 punch-outs. He is primarily a fastball slider changeup guy. Fastball slider, which you will see most likely. Fastball sits anywhere from 84 to 87, so imagine he's going to sit up there. He will spin it, as you saw there. You'll get a ton of that from him.
And he hits Eric Hines with his first pitch. So Araujo will now deal with Brennan Holt with 2 runners on.
It's the 4th batter that Araujo has hit this year.
And Araujo well traveled throughout his baseball career. And we'll get into that in a moment. 1-0. Make that 2-0. He pitched in the World Baseball Classic with Team Brazil. What an experience that was for him.
That's exactly right. What an incredible experience to be able to play in those venues, in that situation. It's got to be something he'll remember for a lifetime.
And Brennan Holt has an RBI single. He drives in John Lim. And Alabama tacks on another. It's 13-3 Crimson Tide.
You got Brennan Holt taking the heater that he gets, barrels it up through that 4-hole to drive home Lim. And the Crimson Tide tacks on another run here and feeling good about themselves with a 10-run lead.
Luke Vaughn at the plate. He already has a home run and he gets hit.
It's another slider that just got away from him, so obviously early on he does not have much of a feel for that pitch, which only makes that Alabama team just eliminate the slider and really just start to sit on that fastball. And I'm afraid that fastball doesn't have enough velocity unless he understands really how to use it in different spots of the zone to get past hitters.
That loads the bases for Peyton Steele. And 2 more arms loosening up for Alabama State. Araujo pitched in 1 game during the SWAC tournament in an 8-5 win against Arkansas Pine Bluff. Win an inning in that game. And now Peyton Steele with the bases loaded, nobody out. 1-0. Alabama tonight with runners in scoring position, 5 for 8. (1-0) to Steele, low, 2-0.
Really done well with runners in scoring position tonight and also runners on as a whole. Hit 412 with runners on tonight, and this is the kind of things that we've talked about in terms of this Alabama team. Obviously, you have the long ball hit by Justin LeBron, but they've done the dirty work in terms of getting runners on. They've gotten them on, and they've found ways to line drives up the middle, playing the game correctly and scoring runs.
Through the first 3 innings, this was a 3-2 ball game, and then it turned dramatically because of that 6-run 4th inning. This ball gets away, and it's another run in for Alabama as Eric Hines scores on the ball that gets away from Trey Callaway. It's 14-3 Alabama.
I'm not quite sure, but I think they got crossed up a little bit. As you can see, Callaway kind of talking to him about it after, and he just kind of whiffed on a pitch that didn't hit the dirt. I think he got crossed up a little bit there. Throws his hands up as if he didn't know that that pitch was coming.
Scored a wild pitch that brings in Hines. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That looked like it hurt. Tried to stop the swing there and still made contact. That looked like it hurt a little bit.
(3-2) over to Espaillat. He makes the throw. Holt scores. 15-3 Alabama.
And he just gets the job done. He gets his breaking ball out over the plate. He's out in front of it, but he's able to get enough bat on it to push it over to second base to score the run.
But yet again, Alabama doing the little things right tonight. Bryce Fowler, who has a couple of hits to his credit, steps in and swings at the first pitch. 0-1. There's strike 2.
That's a good backdoor breaking ball by Caio. See if he can kind of finish off the at bat, get out in the head at 0-2 count. See if he can put him away.
Low for a ball. Fowler with his 21st multi-hit game of the season, which is tops this season for Alabama. Vaughn over at third base with 3 in already this inning. Arao deals the 2-2. Blasted out towards right field and deep. Gone. A 2-run jack from Bryce Fowler. The Alabama lead continues to balloon.
There you got Bryce Fowler already adding to his impressive resume on the season with runners in scoring position. Came in, hit 400 in those situations, and when you get a hanging breaking ball, those go a long way when you leave them up around belt high, and Bryce didn't miss that one. Hits it 383 feet out to right field, and the Tide are absolutely rolling, putting up a football score here tonight.
Alabama dugout loving it.
I think they're having a little bit of fun tonight. I think the crowd's having a little bit of fun tonight.
The group dubbed the right field Ragers finally getting some love with a home run out to right field. And this game has been all Alabama over the last 3 innings in particular. A 17-3 lead now as another change awaits Alabama State with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll step out and have more from Sewell Thomas Stadium. A big blast from Bryce Fowler. Justin LeBron will greet Zane Baltz in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody on, 1 out. Following the 2-run homer from Bryce Fowler. Justin LeBron hit a 3-run jack in his last plate appearance back in the 5th inning, and this was a no-doubter.
LeBron got the elevated fastball in that at bat and did not miss it. Deposited it into right field, and we'll see if they're able to execute pitches and not leave heaters up over the middle of the plate to him this at bat.
LeBron can't connect with that offering. 1-1. LeBron with 4 RBIs tonight.
He's definitely had himself a night here to open up the tournament. And I think it's an encouraging feeling for that dugout on the third base side when you see him going and swinging it well.
That one fouled away. By the way, Bryce Fowler needs 1 double for the cycle.
Sneaky, sneaky.
So he's got a homer,
triple,
single, and a triple, which started off the game. Justin LeBron with a sac fly RBI to score Fowler in the bottom of the 1st. And LeBron strikes out for the 3rd time tonight.
See, they got Justin LeBron swinging, and they went at him with all heaters in this situation. He's able to place this one. Well located fastball in the outer half or outer corner, and just not able to get to it.
Brady Neal looks at a strike there at 92 miles per hour, 0-1.
And Baltz is going to throw you a ton of heaters. That's what he does. He uses a slider as well, but he uses it very sparingly.
This has been a rough night for the Alabama State pitching staff. And Baltz, the latest pitcher to make his way into this game. Baltz did not pitch during the SWAC tournament. He last pitched on May 15th. Now getting some burn here. Pounded into the Tuscaloosa night. gone. Brady Neal makes that ball disappear. 18-3 Alabama.
And Brady just going ahead and finishing off the trifecta at the top of that lineup. All three of the top three in this Alabama lineup has homered. And this one left the bat at 103 miles an hour and found its way quickly into the right field stands over there. He gets an elevated fastball, and he didn't miss it. And he knew it from the moment he hit it. Roll Tide?
The Tide is indeed rolling. To the tune of a 15-run advantage. Here's Jason Torres. 1-1. And that ties a season high, by the way, for for Alabama, as his teammates give him the cold shoulder once he got back into the dugout. And now they acknowledge him. Ties a season high for 4 home runs in a game for this Alabama offense. The Alabama homers tonight: Justin LeBron with a 3-run homer, Bryce Fowler with a 2-run shot. The same for Luke Vaughn, and then Brady Neal, the latest to add his name to the ledger, with a solo big fly. And Torres is caught looking to finish off the bottom of the 6th inning. But 6 runs in for Alabama to expand the lead.
I think this Alabama ball club heard us talking about how much home runs were not hit here and said, I got something for you. 4 of them hit tonight en route to an 18-3 lead.
Alabama and Alabama State locked up right now. It's an 18-3 lead for Alabama. If Alabama wins, they will take on USC Upstate tomorrow night in the 1-0 game. Meanwhile, if this result holds, it'll be Alabama State against Oklahoma State in an elimination game tomorrow afternoon. The winner of this regional will face the winner of the Tallahassee regional in super regional play. That'll begin next weekend with a spot in Omaha on the line. Speaking of the aforementioned Tallahassee Regional, St. John's upsetting Florida State. The host earlier today, 6-5. And St. John's will take on the winner of Coastal Carolina and Northern Illinois. We talked about it earlier. Some very interesting results in day one, including the #1 ranked team in the nation already facing elimination tomorrow afternoon.
Yep.
Alex Espaillat flies this one out to right field. It is caught by Peyton Steele, who's now out in right field.
Yeah, we're looking at almost a handful of upsets already on day one of the tournament, and if it's that type of tournament, it's shaping out to be an exciting one.
Chase Kroberger, by the way, in left. Brady Neal out of the game.
Sounds to me with that idea that it would be Brady Neal behind the plate in game 2, giving him a chance. He's already hit a homer. He's got, what, 3 hits here on the day-to-day. Day's over. Get him out of there. Give him a chance to get off of his feet, because he will probably be catching tomorrow night's game, I would imagine, if they go on to win this ball game.
What kind of difference can that make if he's behind the plate?
I mean, I think if you're sitting here, and let's say you're playing another 3 innings after this, right? That could be another hour or so on your feet. Could that help him to get off of his feet, relax a little bit? As it plays for him right now, it's like a 2.5-hour ball game, right? That's a quick ball game if it was a full 9 innings. So if he's out playing a quote-unquote quick ball game and now he gets the rest, not only physically but a little bit mentally as well, and get him ready for tomorrow, because he's going to have to catch the game, I would imagine. That's my guess. He's had a great night tonight, too.
Yes, no question. 3 for 5, RBI double, a single as well.
Ending it with that long homer to right field. Triple away from the cycle. They said, it's okay. We don't need the cycle from you tonight. We need you tomorrow.
Another excellent performance by Brady Neal, with his team up by 15. Devin Chandler 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Two. And Steckmesser misses. Make the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes here in the top of the 7th inning. And Steckmesser throws that one by Devin Chandler for the final out of the inning. Through 6.5. Alabama leading Alabama State 18-3 here in the Tuscaloosa Regional. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? A lot of happy faces here at Sewell Thomas Stadium for the Crimson Tide. Brady Neal getting the cold shoulder treatment after his home run. It does beg the question, I don't know if there's an actual answer to this, who actually started the cold shoulder treatment in dugouts?
You know what? I'm surprised I've never heard that as a trivia question, because I have no clue where that started from. I'd be interested to know.
Well, we'll have to get an enterprising researcher on that at some point. I'd love to know. But that's a very interesting celebration tactic. And Alabama has done plenty of celebrating in this game with John Lim at the plate in the bottom of the 7th of an 18-3 game. How about Alabama State here, Jared? This is a rough spot for them, obviously. This was a 3-2 game at one point, and then it's just been turned upside down against them here. How do you move on from this game into tomorrow?
Well, I think you got to flush it. You know, you really got to act like it never happened. Listen, you gave up 15 runs between the 4th and the 6th inning. It makes it hard for any team to win a ball game where something like that happens. But understanding the kind of adversity that this team has had to go through to get to this point, understanding what it took for them to win that conference tournament, and knowing that winning that conference tournament was pretty much the only way to get in, I think it's a team with an understanding that, hey, this ball game happened the way it happened, but if we want to continue our season, you got to completely drop what has happened so far. If this continues to be the outcome of this ball game, to be able to show up tomorrow ready to play and ready to go.
The loser of this game will take on Oklahoma State in an elimination game tomorrow at 2 Eastern. A rocket from Lim, but foul. Lim has scored a couple of runs here tonight as he takes a big cut but fouls it away.
And if you wonder why the cold shoulder happened so much for Brady Neal, it's been since the Texas series. I'm sorry, since the Arkansas series way back in April 11th was the last time that he homered. So the boys were saying, hey, man, where you at? We've been looking for you. It's about time you come back to us here.
John Lim reaches base again. You mentioned it earlier, Jared. Lim has been on base now 4 times without a hit.
It's a whole lot of a leisurely stroll to first base without ever recording a hit tonight.
It'll be Will Plattner pinch hitting for Eric Hines. Plattner, the team captain. And that number 3 jersey has some meaning to it for Rob Vaughn in this program. 1-0 outside, 2-0. It represents the 3 pillars of the program: ownership, toughness, and grit. And Plattner personifies that.
Season hasn't gone exactly how he's wanted, but Plattner's someone, he's got 20 starts on the year for him, a couple home runs on the season, so it's someone they know can get in there and give them quality at bats whenever they need it, and obviously someone that's a leader in this clubhouse as well.
And Plattner draws a 4-pitch walk. So 2 on quickly here in the bottom of the 7th inning. JoJo Williamson, the pinch hitter for Alabama, with perhaps another pitching change on the way for the Hornets. Indeed, we'll see another switch. Zane Baltz out, and another change for the Hornets on the way. Alabama leading it 18-3. They've got 2 on here in the bottom of the 7th with another pitching change on the horizon. The last 6 men's college World Series champions, all from the SEC. Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, Ole Miss with that tremendous run, that epic LSU team in 2023, Tennessee taking things over in 24, and then LSU doing it again last season. Can the SEC make it 7 straight men's college World Series championships? A big question mark heading in to this year's NCAA tournament.
The last 6 and only one of those being a repeat. So it shows you the depth that's in the league and how good it is up and down, and that there's good ball clubs popping up and down. And once again, we're looking at another one that's found their way here.
Two runners on for the pinch hitter, JoJo Williamson. Meanwhile, upsets happening in the opening round. UCLA, the #1 team in the nation, losing to St. Mary's 3-2 in the Los Angeles Regional. Southern Miss falling. And of course, one of the bigger stunners of the day, Auburn losing to Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'd tell you all 4 of those are big ones, but the Auburn one for me is the one that's most surprising, simply because of the amount of runs scored against that pitching staff. That's the same pitching staff that gave up 3 runs in 3 ball games in that SEC tournament that they played in 21 innings. So to see them do what they did and then come out and lay this egg in game 1 the way they have has been pretty shocking.
And that's the thing we've seen over the years. Sometimes these #1 ranked teams get in these spots, and it's tough to carry it through. Williamson Ground ball over to first base, the throw to second for 1. So that'll put runners at the corners here. Lem will move to third base. And Williamson at first with 1 out.
Yeah, if you think about that Auburn team and the way they're built, if there is any team in the tournament that's built to make their way through a loser's bracket in a double elimination situation, it is them. They're deep. They got 4 starters on that ball club, a good bullpen. So they'll have to make a run at this point, but you're definitely behind the 8 ball by losing game 1.
Andrew Purdy swings at the first pitch, gives it a ride out to right field, and it is caught by Oropeza. Lem tags from third base. It's 19-3. Alabama on the sac fly RBI from Andrew Purdy.
You got Andrew Purdy just getting in there, getting the job done. He finds a pitch early in the at-bat, early in the count that he likes, and is able to get a fly ball out there to score his runner from third base.
Justin Osterhaus, who has spent time in the outfield this season for Alabama. He'll pinch hit here in the bottom of the 7th.
Osterhaus has played a lot of baseball for him this year. He's got 30 starts in the 36 games that he's played in. 3 homers, 15 RBIs. I think he's trying to catch fire with some of these guys who've gotten a lot of playing time, seeing who can be counted on in these pinch hit situations as you go down the wire in the season.
0-1 missing, 1-1. And talking about what can happen to top-ranked teams throughout the course of the year, Alabama State, the last time they were in the NCAA tournament was 2022. They played in the Knoxville Regional and ended up playing that unbelievable Tennessee team that ultimately didn't make it to Omaha. So despite what happens in the regular season, sometimes you get to the postseason, it's a different animal.
Yeah, it becomes a different animal because all these outs, all these hits, all these at-bats, there's just more emphasis on it, and I think people start to understand the magnitude of it and what's going on and everything that goes in between it. And it becomes the people that are able to do these things, they start to understand how to dumb the game down, how to slow the game down and make it feel like day one of hitting in the cage and not like the situation that it actually is. That's why they talk about guys with the low and slow heartbeats. Those are the guys that are most valuable here, because being able to slow yourself down when it seems like a lot of things are moving fast around you is one trait that it's really hard to quantify how much it means to not only players but to ball clubs filling your rosters with guys that have that ability.
Runner at first, and Osterhaus fouls that pitch away. Williamson over at first base. And a full count pitch coming to Justin Osterhaus. Fouled away. Pitch number 8 coming up in this at bat. Jacob Leffler trying to get out of this bottom of the 7th. A rocket, but foul.
Curious to see if he keeps trying to bury this breaking ball down and in, or if he goes away from it, being that he keeps getting barreled to it and hitting it well.
Williamson on the move. There's ball 4. Osterhaus joins Williamson on the base paths in a 19-3 game. And another pinch hitter for Alabama, Evan Taylor, will pinch hit here for Bryce Fowler. Another dream of a cycle gone awry.
Sorry you got shorter, fans. He'll be back tomorrow.
Taylor behind 0-2. And Fowler, he really started it up here for this Alabama offense tonight. The triple to center field really got things going for Alabama. He immediately scored off of that with the Justin LeBron sac fly.
Yeah, him leading off the bottom of the first with that triple to center field, I think kind of loosened things up for that Alabama dugout, allowed him to play free, and then obviously we know the way Tyler Fay threw the ball tonight was huge for this ball club too, to solidify things on that side. So it's been a complete effort by this Alabama ball club tonight.
Taylor from Ocean City, New Jersey.
Where is that at? Is that close to you, or is that North Jersey, or is that South Jersey?
It is South Jersey. It's
not Central Jersey.
You're gonna fire some people up with that reference. I live about an hour from Ocean City, so Ocean City is a shore town.
Okay.
In New Jersey, so it's right near Atlantic City.
Good bagels?
I've never had one there. I'm not probably gonna find out. The pizza is good.
Pizza's good.
Yes. There's a popular pizza establishment in Ocean City.
Oh, okay. So you visited a couple times.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I will be visiting again very soon. Down the line in the left. Williamson is in. A second run is in as Osterhaus joins the party. It's a 2-run double for the Ocean City, New Jersey native, Evan Taylor.
And Evan Taylor getting a breaking ball, just kind of spinning up over the middle of the zone. 99 miles an hour off the bat. He stings it down the third base line. And the runners are moving on this 3-2 pitch, so obviously you're able to score from first base as well. And the party continues to keep going while we got a 3-possession ball game here in Tuscaloosa tonight. 21-3, Alabama up.
We're right near the football stadium here in Tuscaloosa, and that that score makes you think about some college football. 21-3 lead for the Crimson Tide. I have had, by the way, a bagel in Atlantic City, which is close to Ocean City.
Uh-oh. How was that?
Not great.
So Atlantic City not known for their bagels. Okay.
No.
Noted next time I make a trip.
Popped up by Justin LeBron, foul territory, and the catch is made by Williams to close down Alabama in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th for Alabama. It's a 21-3 lead for the Crimson Tide. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Game 2 of the Tuscaloosa Regional, and it has been all Alabama, 21-3, the most runs in an NCAA tournament game in program history for the Crimson Tide. And the third pitcher of the night in for Alabama, it's the junior, Owen Sarna.
Owen Sarna coming in. He's got 8 1/3 innings on the year. This is his 9th appearance, 5.4 ERA. Owen is a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup guy, kind of mixing it up. Wonder if they'll try to leave him out here, see if he can get the next 6 outs and bring it on home for the Alabama Crimson Tide here tonight.
Plenty of changes for Alabama. We'll break it down to you throughout the inning. Justin LeBron is still in the game. Justin Osterhaus is out in left field for Alabama. Kroberger over to center. Evan Taylor in right. And Braden Devine in at the plate. John Lim still in the game for Alabama.
That's another reason why it makes me feel like Brady Neal will be tomorrow night's catcher. John Lim still in the game, still behind the plate after you've already cycled through all of these guys out of it. So it makes me feel like he gets the break. Brady goes behind the plate tomorrow and they figure out how they put this lineup together.
JoJo Williamson at second base, Caleb Barnett at third, Andrew Purdy over at first. And Devine is able to draw the walk to start up the 8th for Alabama State. Well, if you're Alabama State, the thing about this is you're going to have not much time to drink this one in. You've got to worry about Oklahoma State tomorrow afternoon in a handful of hours.
Yeah, you know, quick sleep and energy is going to be so separately tomorrow for these boys. You're going to have to bring it because you're not going to get much rest.
Miguel Oropeza, who has a 2-run homer tonight at the plate. And of course, if it is Alabama State, Oklahoma State tomorrow afternoon, you would have to think the Cowboys are a little bit ticked off after their performance today, where they had so many opportunities to beat Upstate or at least tie the game with the bases loaded. 0 for 5 with the bases loaded. They left 13 runners on base. They gave up 3 runs to start up the game without allowing a hit.
You know, also think too, coming into today, that Oklahoma State team, only 1 game on the season where they did not have a single extra base hit. So if you're playing the law of averages, it doesn't sound great in terms of being able to hold them down tomorrow if you're going to get a chance to beat them.
We showed that montage of SEC teams that had won the College World Series, the 6 straight SEC national title winners. Alabama looking to get back to Omaha for the first time since 1999. This regional marks the first time that Alabama has played at home under the leadership of Rob Vaughn, and Coach Vaughn obviously wants his team to take advantage of this opportunity. As that pitch is inside, and that got a piece of Oropeza.
Rob's done a great job in his short time here at Alabama. And I think this is his best team yet, and they're trending in all of the right directions at this point of the year. Playing the kind of ball that he needs and wants them to be playing at this time of year.
Alabama reached the Super Regional round back in 2023, but that was before Rob Vaughn was the head coach. This is the 7th time they have been a regional host. Top 8 national seed for the 4th time. And would love to make a trip to Omaha for the College World Series. And of course, remember, if they are able to get through this round, they will host whoever comes out of the Tallahassee Regional in a series that would take place next weekend. But a lot of baseball before that point. Miguel Jenkins looking for his first hit of the night. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The cleanup hitter for Alabama State. Aiden Malpass, pinch runner over at first base for the Hornets. And that one is fouled off, and that got a piece of John Lim, and he is going through it right now.
Oh, got him right on that hand. That stings. That's tough. Catchers go through so much of this stuff that people, I think, don't even realize. Whether it's not, obviously not always the hand, but foul balls that go off the inner thigh or the hand or the shoulder, or getting one right back into the face mask, and then, you know, they continue to just play through the game. Just a tough bunch of individuals that play back there. And he'll shake this off, and he'll get back out there and act like nothing happened. That's what we expect.
And he is in a lot of discomfort. And he's taken a couple here in this inning.
And there goes the one that goes straight to the inner thigh, which obviously does not feel good at all. And try to guard yourself a little bit, and this one catches you on the hand. Right on the knuckle, it seems like, as well.
Flush right on the hand. You got it.
You know, I said he would come back in this thing, and it's probably a little bit of preservation mode right now in terms of what they need for tomorrow and how to go forward. So it looks like they're going to replace him with, I believe that's Will Plattner, who's going to come in and catch seemingly the rest of this ball game. But we hope that knuckle is okay, and he'll be in the lineup at tomorrow's ball game.
And Lim has been such a leader for this team. Mentioned the changes that have taken place for Alabama in the outfield. Brady Neal, who was thought to be the everyday catcher coming into the season, ended up playing in the outfield because of the injury situation that Alabama was enduring in the outfield. And now Lim has stepped in as the catcher throughout the course of the year on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think Johnny Lim's, well, one, his ability at the plate and his ability to handle the staff behind the dish as well has allowed them to say, you know what, this is another bat we need to work into this lineup, and that's what allowed them to be able to kind of get versatile with Brady Neal and move him to the outfield. And it's worked for this lineup, it's worked for this team to be able to have both of them on the field and in the lineup at the same time.
So Will Platner behind the plate now to replace John Lim. Miguel Jenkins takes outside for ball 2-2. Fouled away. And with all the changes and now Lim's exit, Justin LeBron, the only starter remaining in this game for Alabama.
You wonder if a switch will be made there.
Jenkins strikes out for out one. Tenth time tonight an Alabama State hitter has struck out. Only one of those strikeouts were caught looking. 9 strikeouts, swing and misses, courtesy of this Alabama pitching staff. Trey Callaway in, and Callaway with a home run. And his last time at the plate, he represents the last time that Alabama State scored a run in this game. It's hard to believe when you look at the scoreboard, it says 21-3, that this game after the first 3 innings was 3-2 in favor of Alabama. But since that 3rd inning, Alabama's offense has gone crazy.
Yeah, it's been an absolute onslaught in between the 4th and 7th inning. 18 runs, and has outscored this Alabama State team 18-1 over that period of time as well. And that's what really broke this ball game wide open.
The 2-2, and it'll run full at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Close one there, right off the edge. It's a good eye, really good eye by Trey Callaway. Stay in the fight, get this thing to 3-2, and see if he can get himself on the bags.
Callaway gets punched out for the 2nd out, and he doesn't like that call.
Pretty good job right here by Sarna by tunneling these 2 pitches. He throws the slider out there, and then he comes right back with the fastball in the same situation. So as a hitter, you see that first one as a breaking ball, it darts out. You get the same spot out of the hand, only this one doesn't dart. It stays exactly there, and you go take a seat.
Eleventh strikeout tonight recorded by Alabama. Jackson Williams with a chance here with a runner in scoring position, 2 on. If you're Alabama State, you just want to try to do something positive moving into the game tomorrow. He did not go. Jackson Williams The hit on the day. Looking for his second, fouls it off.
Good job right there by Jackson Williams, boiling a good fastball away.
Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Alabama's pitching staff. 12 now tonight. A 21-3 lead for Alabama. And their players have had plenty to be happy about here tonight in a rout at Sewell Thomas Stadium. Caleb Sanders will step into this game for Alabama State with his team down 21-3. The Crimson Tide, most runs for them in an NCAA tournament game in program history. Sanders, the senior out of Alabama, will try to put his best foot forward here, making his 15th appearance on the season.
1-2 record with the 13. Hasn't been his best season, if you want to put it that way, but he's primarily a fastball, curveball guy, and they're going to look for him to see, can he get 3 outs for him in this situation.
Chase Kroberger facing a 1-1 count. Kroberger out of Morristown, New Jersey.
Is that Central Jersey?
No, it is not. No, it is deep in the heart of South Jersey.
Okay.
Right near Cherry Hill, Mount Laurel, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm learning a little bit about Jersey. Huh? Not much in Central area. Huh?
Nope. Tough play over third base. Santana's throw is not there. And it'll be a leadoff hit for Kroberger.
And off the bat, you knew this would be trouble for Santana simply because the ball's not hit hard. There's a do-or-die play. Kroberger just gets down the line very well. There was really no throw to be had. He could have just put that one in his pocket. Goes down in the books as a hit for Kroberger.
First pitch swinging. Great play made by Devine to cut down Kroberger at second base.
It's a very good job by Devine here, making the backhanded play and having the wherewithal to understand in the internal clock that he still has a play that can be made at second. Gathers himself, makes the throw to second, accurate throw to second, and gets an out, gets the force.
Alabama will tap the bench once again. As Joe Chiarotto stepping in. He's pitch hitting for Owen Sarna, again because of the switch around with Will Platner becoming the catcher. The DH spot goes away. And that made Sarna an active part of the lineup. They pinch hit here with Chiarotto. And he pumps this one into right field for a base hit. Station to station baseball for the Crimson Tide.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that Chiarotto will not be throwing. So expect to see that bullpen get active, which it looks like it already is. But a nice little base hit for Chiarotto right there, dropping one into right field. Bama's in business with 2 runners on and an out.
Will Platner, who pinch hit for Eric Hines in this game, but now is the catcher for John Lim. Has 2 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Two balls and no strikes to Platner. And it looks like we are closing in on a Crimson Tide Spartans matchup in the 1-0 game tomorrow night. The Crimson Tide leading by 18. You'd have to think that will be the matchup we'll see.
Feels like it will be tomorrow, unless a solar eclipse happens. I don't know, something crazy the rest of the night. It would take a whole lot for Alabama State to come back to 3 outs remaining from this ball.
Well, how about it? I mean, Alabama upstate tomorrow. That's a very intriguing matchup. I think perhaps maybe folks thought it would be Alabama, Oklahoma State in that spot. We could see that down the line, but it will not be tomorrow night thanks to the Spartans.
Yep, the Spartans, and you know, we've talked about how hot they have been in the month of May, 14-2, making it 15-2 today, and they had a whole lot to say about it, so it should be a great ball game that we get a chance to see tomorrow.
Platner strikes out looking. 2 down. It'll be interesting to see what tactic Upstate uses tomorrow in terms of pitching. When you talk to a lot of these coaches around the country, when you get into the regionals, many of them are coming in with pitching staffs that have been used a lot because of these conference tournaments. For example, in the case of Alabama State, they went through a lot of pitching. We talked about the rain impacting the SWAC tournament. Meanwhile, Alabama, they just played 1 game in their conference tournament and got run ruled by Florida. So in a way, they didn't really have to do a ton in their conference tournament.
Yeah, they didn't do a ton. They used some of the bullpen guys they needed to use to get work in once that game kind of went awry, went left on them a little bit. But you go back and talk about South Carolina Upstate, like I fully expect them to be using starting the game with Chris Torres. But the thing about what they do with the bullpen is impressive.
And that closes out the 8th inning for Alabama State, 21-3 as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Alabama's offense, the main character in this game. It all started off with a Bryce Fowler triple, and then it snowballed from there thanks to the long ball, Jared.
Thanks to the long ball, and this is an Alabama team that came into this ball game only 7 home runs, good enough for 5th worst, if you want to call that, in the league. They showed up today and hit the long ball at a great pace, 4 in the ball game, and it has put them in a spot where they now have a 21-3 lead going into the top of the 9th.
Clark, Espaillat, and Santana for Alabama State. 4 home runs for the Crimson Tide, and 3 of the 4 with runners on with LeBron, Fowler, and Vaughn. Meanwhile, Brady Neal adding a solo homer to the mix. And it'll be Tate Robertson, the lefty out of Tuscaloosa, on the mound to try to close this out for Alabama.
Tate coming in, not much work on the season. You see, it's his 5th appearance with only 3 innings, and they're trying to save some of that bullpen. So Tate, get out there, get us some outs, get you some work. Let's move forward.
The DH, Cale Clark, will lead it off. Hits this one towards the gap and left, but the catch is made for the first out by Osterhaus. Alex Espaillat in to face Robertson with 1 down here at the top of the 9th inning. Espaillat not on the mark with that swing. 0 for 3 with a strikeout. The second baseman for Alabama State. Make it 0-2.
Doubled up on the changeups there. 2 good little pitches for him. Getting himself to an 0-2 count.
Swing and a miss, and Espaillat goes down for out 2.
Tripled up on the changeup, threw it again, and got swings and misses in all 3 of them. Going back to the conversation earlier, I expect this to be a Zane Adams versus Chris Torres ball game tomorrow in the SC Upstate against Alabama game tomorrow night. Should be a pretty good ball game.
It'll be Oklahoma State against Alabama State in the early game
for elimination.
Well, the loser will head home. And now Alabama State down to their final strike as Santana in an 0-2 hole. Foul away.
Tell you what, Tate Robertson has looked pretty good coming in here for as little work as he's had on the year. He's pounded the zone. He hasn't thrown a single ball yet. The changeup has been good. The fastball he's had command on. And he's thrown 1 slider as well, which was the ball that was hit to left field.
0-2 over to third base, and the throw is offline. So that'll be an error over at third base for Caleb Barnett.
Barnett does a good job of fielding this ball, but the throw just sails on him high into his arm side, and he's not able to make to complete the play to finish the ball game.
That'll leave it up to Devin Chandler for Alabama State.
Changeup's good for Robertson. He gets a lot of swings and misses on it. Really just falls off the table. And you can tell they can't pick up on the arm speed.
Robertson winds and fires the 0-1. Now it's 0-2 to Devin Chandler. Tate Robertson ahead 0-2, 2 down, top 9.
It's his first ball of the evening. 11 straight strikes thrown by the youngster.
One, two, missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the fans here wanted that one badly.
My man in the outfield said, "That's it. What are we looking at here?"
We'll do it again. Now the count full. Fouled away. Chandler has battled in this at bat to get it to a 3-2 count. Santana over at first. Ball game. Chandler goes down looking, and that caps a historic performance by Alabama. Largest margin of victory in NCAA tournament program history. A 21-3 win for Alabama. They will take on USC Upstate tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the 1-0 game. Let's take you to Ole Miss and Arizona State with Carl Ravitch and Kyle Peterson. For Jared Mitchell, I'm Derek Jones saying so long from Tuscaloosa.